Jane Lessing? Jonathan Ames. Yeah, I believe I can help you. What I love about this show so much is like it's kind of a delicate infusion of life and fiction.
All the aspects are fun because the writing's sharp and the storylines are very good.
But you know, we kind of mess with the whole Brooklyn location.
All right, just a little bit of half and half.
It's original, it's incredibly bright. It's lots of smoking dope and drinking. I mean, naked women. What more do you want, really? I mean, seriously.
2.5 years ago, I wrote a short story called Bored to Death. Because I've written a lot of nonfiction, I really wanted to try my hand at writing something noirish and fast-paced. I decided to write a piece of fiction where I used my own name. So I had a writer who was bored and struggling to write a second novel. At the start of the season, a beautiful young woman he's been living with has broken up with him because she feels that he's stuck.
I told you months ago that if we were gonna make this work, you had to stop drinking and smoking pot, and you didn't. That was our deal.
It's dangerous to go cold turkey. I'm down to white wine.
Parenthetically, or not parenthetically, he found his Raymond Chandler detective novels, rediscovers his love for mystery and for noir and for detectives. So he goes on to Craigslist to try to meet someone, but just doesn't have the heart to do it. And as like a lark, puts himself up as an unlicensed private detective for hire on Craigslist. I put up a listing advertising myself as a private detective.
You can't do that, that's illegal.
Why? Well, I say that I'm not licensed, and that makes it more legal-ish. The show is like the juggling of Jonathan's friends, his girlfriend, his breakups, all of his just pain in his heart and all this craziness that he deals with day to day. And then as the episodes go on, he can flip-flop between being like a great detective and a writer who's in trouble.
It's a little intoxicating to get involved in these cases, and I think that's fun to watch.
It all comes out of boredom and not wanting to commit and settle down. But out of that comes this wonderful innocence, this kind of Don Quixote tilting at windmills that leads him into these wonderful little New York adventures where he truly does help people.
It's okay. I'm here to help you. Your sister sent me. Everything is fine. I'm a private detective.
What?
Wait.
Get out of our room.
Put that out.
Get out of our room.
Come on, put that out. Put that out. Come on.
Out of our room.
Come on.
Bored to Death is so unique, like Jonathan's voice. It's this weird combination of things that usually live in isolation. You know, it's comedy, but it's also film noir.
You just have to kind of follow the line of truth that he puts out there, and I think that the humor just comes out of that.
I just feel like you shouldn't be doing this. The world is overpopulated. You know there's an island of plastic the size of Texas in the Pacific?
I know, Leah, you told me this 1,000 times.
Please don't dismiss what I'm saying. Overpopulation is important to me.
When there are funny moments, they never come from a negative place.
There's not a mean bone or a sarcastic bone in Jonathan Ames' body or in his writing. And there's such an innocence about him. At the same time, perverted, you know, but it's with this eager kind of smile of delving into these bizarre places.
They all knew it was herpes. You shouldn't have hit me, Jonathan.
But that was your idea.
Yeah, well, you need to know when to give me good advice, and that was bad advice. You need to be sane when I'm insane.
But I didn't know you were insane.
Well, you should have.
I stole this from Jason's fiance.
I really do feel like it's an ensemble. It feels like a solar system, and all of the planets sort of need each other to make the gravity work.
It's a wonderful cast. Jason Schwartzman, Ted Danson, Zach Galifianakis. The chemistry between the characters is very charming.
She's gonna face the music, and I'm gonna play it.
Good luck.
I cannot imagine a better fit than Jason Schwartzman and Jonathan Ames. And Jason sets a tone that to me is absolutely perfect for the show.
He's magnificent. I mean, the guy, is just, illuminated. And he's sensitive and just a fantastic actor. I mean, carries the show. He's the engine.
What I love about this show so much is like, this character really just isn't negative. He's brokenhearted and hopeful that he'll either get his girlfriend back or maybe meet someone that he loves more. And like that drives him to get into all these kind of wild situations.
I think he's using the detective work as much for research for novels he's trying to write and to try to find out about himself by putting himself in danger occasionally.
It'll only let me take out $200 at a time.
So make 3 withdrawals, genius.
But that's 3 separate service charges.
I will taser you in the face.
Hey, okay, I'm just saying, you guys should at least acknowledge that I'm now basically paying $509.
A character named Ray Houston, played by Zach Galifianakis, is an illustrator and cartoonist.
Just yesterday, Lee was like, why don't you go teach art in a public school? I'm not gonna teach art at a public school. I don't wake up till 11 a.m. go teach art.
But if you did teach, it would be steady income.
Don't be disgusting.
The character Ray is sexually frustrated. He doesn't have children and he wants children. And his girlfriend has 2 kids already and she doesn't want more kids. And her kids hate him and call him fat.
Lee has kids and you guys have been together for a while.
Yeah, but that is terrible. Those kids pay me no respect. They call me fat and hairy. They could lose a few pounds themselves.
So this is just a couple sketches of Ray imagining himself as a cartoon superhero. And we did one episode where he was drawing himself in a cape. He was in fact wearing a sheet as a cape while he drew himself with a cape, which was a funny idea that I came up with.
Sorry, it's all I got. I'm kind of a starving artist.
You look like you eat all right to me.
The Ray character in Bored to Death is loosely based on me, mostly in that he is a cartoonist and I'm a cartoonist. We actually draw very different kinds of comics, but it's fun to illustrate the stuff that Jonathan needs for the show and for the character arcs. A lot of the stuff that I draw borders on sexuality. I was asked to draw a ginormous penis coming from the Super Ray character because he feels empowered by the fact that he gets to donate sperm. And I actually asked Jonathan at the time, I said, can I really draw this ginormous throbbing penis with a bunch of little Super Ray sperm jumping off? He's like, yeah. I was like, really? Like HBO will let that fly? And he was like, I think so, it's in the script. So apparently it's being used and I'm kind of in shock actually, but it's cool.
I do my best work hungover. I have less brain cells to confuse the issue. Did this yesterday morning, right after I barfed all over the place.
You're not that big.
In my mind, I am. Huge, but underused.
George Christopher is also best friends with Jonathan Ames.
The way we relate to each other most in the show is sort of as friends. So you get the sense that we have a working relationship, but that Ted, for whatever reason, has taken to my character. This is kind of an intimate moment. I've never hit anybody before.
Just stop talking and hit me, will you? Please get it over with.
You ready?
I said stop. I'm sorry, man. I took an Israeli army defense class once. I guess the old muscle memory clicked in.
George has reached the point in his life where he's now 61. And there's a desire to cling to his youth or deal with the fact that he is getting older. I think he's incredibly bright, incredibly lonely, and incredibly bored.
George, I've got to go. I'm at a Russian nightclub.
A Russian nightclub? Oh, hey, I want to go.
I have to go. I'm about to get a colonic.
What? I want a colonic.
The actresses we have are incredible.
The women are tolerant, all of them, of their male counterparts.
Are you stalking me?
Suzanne, you're still my girlfriend in my heart, okay? And I'm not stalking. I was walking by this place. I look inside to see the two of you making out.
Most of the series, Suzanne is Jonathan's ex-girlfriend, showing up at key moments to pull on his heartstrings. Although she's not a writer herself, you might imagine that she would have tremendous respect for what a writer does. And I think that might be a lot of the basis for her relationship with Jonathan.
I love you more than you know, Jonathan.
That was a nice note. But you don't have to read your name at the end.
Well, I know, I'm very literal-minded, you know that.
What I love about the women is they're not fooled by us. Zach's girlfriend, who's played by Heather, won't marry him until he gets a job, won't marry him until there's some sense of commitment.
She's really attracted to the artistic side of him, but she wants him to grow up at the same time, and he's resisting that.
Those women were into us because we were artists. And then reality hits, and no money and no real future, and then,
They were kind of stuck in that situation where if they were in their 20s, maybe they would look for other people, but they're in their 30s, and it's hard to move a futon out of a house.
Leah has been trying to get me to go to therapy, and maybe this way I can get her off my back and onto hers.
What? What did I say?
Jonathan found a therapist that he likes, and I'm gonna go, just like you said. So then we'll,
Great, because once you go for a few months and learn the language, we can go for couples counseling.
It's awesome to be a part of this show because every day I work with someone new. I'll work with Zach Galifianakis one day, Ted Danson the next day, or guest stars the next day.
We had incredible people come on. In episode 2, we had Peter Herman, who was wonderful as the possibly cheating spouse. In episode 3, we had Parker Posey and Bebe Neuwirth. We also had Oliver Platt.
You've got an awfully good grip. That's probably kind of handy in bed, isn't it?
Down the line, Jim Jarmusch came in for an episode.
I really loved your novel. It was dark, funny, perverted, beautiful. You must really suffer from the terrifying clarity of your vision. The character that I'm playing is myself, but a little bit exaggerated. It's making fun of me in a slight way. There's a lot of comments before I appear about my hair, which I liked.
You know the director, Jim Jarmusch, right? Down by Law, Broken Flowers?
Yeah, I love his movies.
Well, I saw Jarmusch the other night. Oh, he has very good hair.
We also had my friend John Hodgman came on the show. He's the PC on those Mac commercials.
Jonathan, are you working on a new book?
Yes, I am. And it's coming along really well.
Good. I look forward to reading it then. When I heard that he was making a television series about his life, I very much wanted to be a part of it. And of course, Jason's been very decent to me, very lovely, unlike Ted Danson, who just punches me in the teeth every time I see him. I think I maybe shouldn't have opened our relationship by trying to stump him on Cheers trivia.
Get some of that. Get some of that.
In this last episode, Oliver Platt's character challenges my character to a boxing match. He demands satisfaction for something horrible that I've written about him in my editorial.
I challenge this man.
To what, Richard? Arm wrestling? Spelling bee?
When I was at Oxford, on my Rhodes Scholarship, we would have settled this in the ring. Queensbury rules. I challenge you to a boxing match.
Jonathan Ames, our writer, actually has had this experience. Jonathan did get challenged to a boxing match. So he's done this kind of celebrity but real boxing match. And this is where this came from, this idea.
In 2007, a publishing house challenged me to fight a Canadian writer coming out with a book called The Fighter, and they wanted to promote his book in the US by having him box someone. He had done this in Canada, and the only nutty writer I guess they could think of that he could fight was me, and I accepted the challenge. We ended up staging the bout at Gleason's, and it was a wonderful night. We only went 3 rounds, but it was a very vigorous fight. I more or less won, and it was just very romantic and exciting. And so I kind of wanted to recreate some of that in the show.
Sal, I suddenly feel scared.
That's normal. All fighters are scared. But once you get in the ring, you're like a god.
But I'm agnostic.
Jason loved the idea. Jason had always wanted a box, so he started training a few weeks before we did our boxing episode.
Now, you may think this is fake sweat. Actually, I worked out all last night. We bottled it. Yeah, we bottled it, and this is the real stuff. I actually got to train with the guy who trained Jonathan for his fights, a gentleman named Grant Seligson, and I got to, hit the heavy bag every weekend for a month, and I did feel like a boxer. Every time my hands were getting taped up, there's something about the preparation ritual for getting a fighter ready to fight that I'm sure has so much to do with his psychological mindset going. From someone coming at it like out of nowhere, that was one thing that struck me. I was like, yeah, I can go in there and do this.
So all the actors really took to it. Oliver Platt and John Hodgman as well.
I knew that Jonathan had the sweet science of fighting in his background. I never might have predicted that I would spend a day in the Masonic Lodge in Fort Greene pretending to be hit in the face by Jason Schwartzman while Ted Danson looked on. That's a strange fever dream I might have had sometime, but now it is the strange reality of my life.
Hey, Jonathan. Many fighters choose to listen to music before a fight. Gets them pumped up. I've chosen to listen to your audiobook. I find it properly enraging.
We're in Fort Greene Park, Brooklyn, New York.
Come on, I'm hungry.
I love this park, so this was, cool place to begin with this circle.
Even from day one, from the pilot, we've been in Fort Greene almost every day.
This is the world I know, and so these were the places I wanted to write about, and also places that maybe haven't been seen as much on screen as Manhattan locales.
Brooklyn's exciting. It's the new Manhattan. I may have to move to Brooklyn.
If Brooklyn is the new Manhattan, what's Manhattan?
Manhattan's the new Queens.
All the shadows in the city used to love you.
Jonathan asked me if I would want to try having a whack at the theme song for the show, and I did say that I would try.
We kind of co-wrote the lyrics, and then he came up with all the music, and it's a wonderful song.
How I wrote the theme song was just kind of a weird way of working, which is that I lied for a long time saying that I had something. Because I gotta put a saxophone solo in, because I said there was one. I gotta have this kind of a bass line, because I said there'd be one of those. I gotta have it. So I actually wrote it pretty quickly, because I'd been lying for so many months.
The Harry Call is this sound that I've been making for a very long time. So all through my writing and performing career, I would always do that call, usually 3 times, to clear the stage for the next performer to come on. And so I would do the sound at the last night of every episode. So it was just a fun, silly thing to kind of instill the process, because there's a lot of stress in making a TV show with a little bit of joie de vivre and a little bit of, let's just try to make art and be silly. And so I've always made the noise.
There you are.
It is sweet and innocent and perverted. It's wonderful. I'm sweet and innocent and perverted. That's it. I found my match.
It's really fun.
I hope people will be entertained and amused. We'll see Brooklyn, they'll see comedy, they'll see 3 odd men that maybe haven't been seen quite in this way on TV before.
This whole show's been totally creatively fulfilling and satisfying to me, which is what I really love about it.